Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of Money Radio. This is a program we discussed front-page news stories on our sister publication, a business paper, the National Economy, every morning at 2 o'clock. My name is Winifred Information. Please good to be hosting you on today's program, especially after the elections. With me in the studio is an in-house analyst, and of course, is also the editor of National Economy, Kingsley and Kingsley. Good afternoon and welcome to the program, Money Radio. Let's have a national economy on our screen as we read out the headline stories. National economy. The paper is leading. National economy is leading with the story today. High taxation. National economy is saying sorry, we are having some issues over there. That is why they can't bring that. Now, I actually have it here now. Multiple taxation threatening survival of small businesses. Multiple taxation threatening survival of small businesses. Traders orders lament multiple collection of taxes levies by tout market unions. Traders orders lament multiple collection of taxes levies by tout market unions. I will take the headline story once again. Multiple taxation threatening survival of small businesses. And before we discuss it, this on the backdrop that last week there were leading stories on some select newspapers that federal government advising the incoming administration to increase VAT to 10%. And now here we are today on the national economy having a story, multiple taxation threatening survival of small businesses. And as if that is not enough, the outgoing administration is advising the incoming to increase VAT to 10%. Well, that is not the only story we have on the national economy's cover today. We also have other stories as well. I don't know if time permits, we will also be discussing some of them, or just giving maybe one or two views on opinions on the headline stories. And we have OPEC's production target remains unchanged till end of 2023. OPEC's production target remains unchanged till end of 2023. SVP call for increased vigilance in banking fintech world. And the strip underneath the paper is a strip. Do you need digital only banking to experience fintech? The story is on page 10 of the paper. And also, for more on the stories on the national economy today, you log on to their website, www.nationaleconomy.com. Now, back to the leading story today. Multiple taxation threatening survival of small businesses. Yes, and that is the issue even with bigger industries. And bigger companies. What is the way out?
Well, let's first start by looking at.
And not apart from asking you the way out, we are seeing situations before asking you the way out. Before we see situations currently that most governors, as a way to generate revenue, the only thing they think out of the think about is increasing taxation in their states. Some governors have even gone as far as even taxing Okada riders and all these market women over kidnapping. Why is that so? Is it that most leaders, most governors, they can't just think out of the box?
They can't think out of the box, and they destroy the economies of those regions, Because what invariably happens is when you have a situation where people are taxed, repeatedly over the same item over and over again, the tendency is number one, it will raise the cost of production for those businesses, and also on the part of the country also, it means for the investment. The levels of divestment now, if you check between 2022 towards the end of 2021, a lot of firms, companies, even the small businesses
I've been
are
to them all.
relocating to West African countries or other African countries, because there it is a bit saner. You can do business without doing all these multiple tasks like that. So, one, it leads to the investment, and then the foreign direct investment that are supposed to come into the country will lose it as well. And then businesses also, are adversely affected in terms of competition wise and their survival. So it does nobody no good, because these people should understand that people are in business to, first of all, make profit.
Mhm.
And you can't tell an investor, whether big or small, that to come when it is not favorable.
Mm.
Because if you want to look at what even if you want to look at what what a tax should look like, one, there should be that convenience. It should be simple.
However, but the federal government is always priding itself on having this ease of doing business for companies. So how come you cannot, taxation, ease of doing business? Why are they at variance?
Uh, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be just the case with the government. They boss themselves to one corner.
Mm.
So they are now looking for any channel avenue at all to get money. That's the case with the government. But what we're saying is that if you look at it now, you also consider the fact that also the touts
Mm.
and the unions
Mm.
in the various states
Yes.
have already taken advantage of this
You
situation.
even see some situations in FCT,
Yes.
and where even touts just for you to park somewhere and they rush at you. The situation is really, really embarrassing.
Funny enough, most of those levies don't get to government. It's unfortunate, but that's just the stark reality.
And we also have a situation whereby that was it last year in the same FCT, talking about taxation, that private hospitals also cried out
Yes.
that these touts, as you mentioned, officials,
Yeah.
they come to their offices
Mhm.
and demand that they'll close their hospitals down, and they beat them unnecessarily. They tell them that they have to pay this, pay that, and the hospitals were crying out that this is much more than how much do they charge their patients?
Yes.
In the sense that they are giving charitable works to.
It's a routine with them. They keep coming. They just keep coming. It's just extortion. Hidden under levies.
Yes.
You have to pay all this, we need this, you must bring this, you must bring. The funny thing is that one group will come today.
Mm.
By next week, another group will come on the same issue. The upper week, another group will come. So they even making effort to even know which of these people are even genuine. It's a problem. Not to say that government doesn't know, they are aware. There's some corrupt individuals within that system use these guys, to get those monies that are diverted into their private accounts.
And even recently in the federal capital territory, the federal government said it was reintroducing this pack and pay
Mhm.
policy, whereby you pay according to the time you want to stay in a place. And many the general public, most of the FCT residents, are not taking lying loan. They are upset about it, and some are even threatening to go to court. All also the guys of taxation.
Yeah, they will tell you
So
to go to
whichever
court.
you go, there are so many
They
taxes
will
to
tell
pay.
you can go to court. They know who you will meet at the court, because they always believe they are the
Because there's a
government.
saying that when somebody tells you to go to court,
Yes.
you know that his senior brother is the judge.
Yes, you understand. And they always believe that the judiciary will always be on the side of government. You understand? So they say go to court. They don't feel that, simple courtesy demand that even if you must come up with a policy like this, you must first of all have a round table, discuss it, weigh the options. Then decide on how do we go about it. These people will just come up with something,
Mm.
put it out there. Then, of course, behind the scene, they will go and tip some people to go and carry placard in support of something that is anti-people. So, in the process, you get where you are saying, I don't like this, I don't want it. You are meeting people that are demonstrating this is good for the country, this is good for everybody, this will be good for FCT. Why would you? Suddenly, you want to start collecting, people are parking their cars, you want to start collecting money from them. Do you understand me? They say it is to raise their tax profile. Good, well and fine. The problem is that most of those monies they have collected in the past, where did they go? What did they do with them? So you are busy collecting money, and going by what happened in the last
They're not
election,
using to provide
they're not using
amenities
for
for what you are
nothing.
collecting the money.
Most of them, these things early in the day, they start saving money for elections. That is how they start. and then the rest are PFAD.
Yes.
The other,
Personal
yes,
pocket.
personal pockets.
No, last week the NBS, that is a National Bureau of Statistics, came up with a figure that inflation that has risen again. To, now, how will you now compare inflation presently in the country and this multiple taxation that we are talking about?
Well,
What effect
yes,
is it having on the populace?
they are feeling it. Let's even start with the cost of items now. To start with, then of course you go to the cost of transportation. You want to go to, you want to buy fuel. You know, you can't just afford to, take more, put more burdens on the people just like that. Incidentally, funny enough, they think this is the only way they could raise money. It is not. People already tax. I'm paying my tax. You're paying your tax. You know. But funny enough, like we said, these monies don't really. If you look at the cover of the economy, you see naira is changing hands there. That's to tell you that money, these are the ones that go through private hands. This is for settlement. So when you come, we will give you, you go. Tomorrow they will come again. It's just madness. The result is that we will check countries like Rwanda. I'm looking at the 2021 profile. Between 2021 and 2022, the number of SMEs that were able to spring up in these countries, it was recorded that Nigeria was even above the list. When you look at the ranking,
of course, it should be because at the end of the day, one is, as you're talking about SMEs, it came to my mind that a situation whereby you are increasing taxation on the populace, and yet there's no enabling environment. We're
Nothing.
talking about even SMEs like the barbing salon.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
something that guys can really do. You
Mhm.
just get a place,
Mhm.
makeshift shop,
Mhm.
and just plug as long as they have a clipper,
Clipper.
hair clipper. The power is not there.
Yes.
They have to go and still get generator
Yes.
power.
And go to the filling
And
station to buy the fuel.
Well, exactly, to go and queue. It's
And
not as
queue.
if they will go to the filling station and
Yes.
get it like that.
Yes.
With jerrycan, you have to pay extra to the fuel attendant so that you can fill your jerrycan, whatever you are going to the
Mhm.
filling station with.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you pay more and you buy, and you now, after waiting, queuing,
Mhm.
then you now go and fill it and use the generator to power to work. And it's so, you could say it's unfeeling for that same person again who is helping himself, providing enabling them so that he can survive and his business thrive in this Nigeria. And you now say he must still pay more. You have tax telling him you've not paid for this, you've not paid for that.
Yes.
I mean,
They will just come there and
Just-
say it's development levy. They will collect that one. That's what they first do. If you refuse, fight will break out.
and they'll close up your shop.
They will break things. Not if it's closing, it's just mild.
Mm.
You see them breaking things there. Unrestrained. And if one is not careful, they will break somebody's head. Nobody will do anything. Police will be passing by. They won't do anything. Because, it's a ring. We collect, we settle you, put the rest in our pocket. But these are like places where we can come to extort and get money. So it's been honestly, in quotes, legalized here. So people open businesses not just to earn a living now, they open businesses for these people. If you're in the transport sector, of course, when you
It's even worse.
it's even worse.
Yes.
When this union will grab you, you park here, they say you're not supposed to park here. Meanwhile, you purchase a ticket.
And they also pay to police. I
They
was
put-
going
yes.
somewhere in FCT. I remember vividly. That was on the weekend. And of course I didn't drive, I was in park. And right there and then of course I engaged in a conversation with one of those cars and they said no, that even police
Mhm.
that they pay them
Mhm.
every weekend.
Mhm.
That you see that at the end before the week the day runs out, they try every weekend. They just drive okay. That they pay them weekly. I was taken aback. I
Yes.
said, whatever for?
It is not.
Is it police will drive from that they pay them, and that
Yes.
if they don't pay them, they will
There
not
will
allow
be, there
them.
will be
There'll
problems.
Yes.
So how do you expect that kind of person to
And
survive?
I was shocked. I was like, many people are not even know of this that we pay police. And it was the same thing too in AYA Church, that is in Abuja. Those that live in Abuja that are familiar with the environment said that I also was told that how they also pay police. That is the commercial drivers that run, maybe form kind of a party there. They
Yes.
collect money, you pay, they charge, they they levy themselves and then they give it to police.
Please.
I'm wondering whatever.
So you see
Is that
why
necessary?
no, it's not about if it's necessary. To them, it's necessary for their own survival. You understand? You know, and the funny thing is that authorities know about this. The authorities are in the know. They know. But what happens, I think, is that at the end of the day, these guys will also go to do some remedy. So
Now you can imagine why things are just on the increase because at the end of the day, these are transport owners or transport workers who pay money to the police.
yes,
They'll pay also some to
Yes.
these cabs that you talk about.
yes,
And at the end of the day, they pay so much to get petrol in their
then they will start buying the tickets.
vehicle. So ask me, yes. So why won't things goods goods and services be expensive?
That's the thing. You know, I said the first thing is that the first fallout of all this is that the cost of things will just go up. If you are in the auto manufacturing, the cost of production will go up. And when the harassment is too much, you just close shop and relocate. Because that's what normally happens. If you go to any park in this town where you have shops, just go and listen to them, hear what they are saying. How, yes, lamentation. This union will come now, they will collect. And that one will say they are in charge of this park, you have to pay this, they will collect. And that one will come and say, do you see all these people who mark that it is part of the money we are using to maintain all this, they will collect.
And they say they have a vigilante that watch over all this.
Yes, you pay for vigilante again, you collect that, they will collect that one. You thought it's over, just wait until another 1 week plus. Another set will come. When you're even complaining, you've paid, they say no, to who?
To who?
Stories will start. So it's a big problem. And I sincerely believe if this government meant well, it should have been able, in the first place, to handle all these things from the beginning. It's about policy.
But the thing is that it's just mainly about our leaders. They don't, that is why we saw what played out during the last Saturday election, and it's so very, very unfortunate because it's a situation whereby leaders feel they have to impose themselves on the citizenry. I mean, it tells much about their development too.
Yes.
Their dividends of democracy to those people they force themselves to because they don't care.
They don't
A
feel
situation
they owe
whereby is we just have to like make people be advocating for in a place where there is free and fair election.
Yes.
It should have brought about good leaders,
Of course.
good leadership, people, governors that will act of the boss.
Yes.
A situation whereby you have to think of because most of the governors or leaders we are having, those that will come with that mindset to increase that taxation or
Yes,
tax.
yes.
Because that is how the only way they know to drive revenue up. We are going to be talking more on that when we come back on this break. While viewers don't go away, we are coming back.
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
You're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Money Radio. It's a program every Monday where we discuss our sister publications paper, and that is National Economy. It's all about business. So we talk business every Monday at 2 p.m. My name is William Kwalibe, and with me in the studio has been our in-house analyst, also the editor of National Economy, Kinsey Ali. Thank you so much once again. Yes, before we went on break, we were talking about the essence of having a transparency and fair electoral processes in place, whereby good and capable leaders can come on board. Leaders that will have put their ticket caps on and know how to generate revenue for their states and for their populace without having to, drive increase taxation and overburdening this populace. Will there ever be a time in the country where we have something like this?
I doubt. See, just recently it made a governor in the southeast,
Mm,
spends about 50 million on
okay, wine, an
wine,
expensive wine.
expensive one, 50 million. And every week, 50 million.
But don't you think that it was exaggerated?
I don't know if it's exaggerated. Honestly, I don't know. But
The 50 million is quite huge.
I don't really know. You understand me? But there are exotic drinks anyway. Do you get me? But no matter how you look at it, it goes to tell you how these people operate, their mindset. They feel
For instance, and we talk about continuity. How much do Nigerian leaders practice this continuity? Like for instance, we have a former governor of the Cross River,
yes,
Donald Duke,
mm,
who came up with that Tinapa
Tinapa project. Yes,
So, but at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a huge revenue
Ena, for the state.
drive for the state. But at the end of the day, because I guess they said somebody said that what was supposed to be feeding him is not there. So Tinapa was just built. At the end of the day, he's not living up to his potentials.
Yeah, because because
Because it's all about politics.
it's all about politics.
Those that took
The,
over.
Donald Duke meant well
Yes,
when he
did
came up
vision.
with that project.
Mm.
It was very beautiful.
Yes.
People, there was even this race they used to have in those days. around
Yes,
those areas,
there, yeah.
kind of
I think I went there once and it was.
marathon, something like that. So
Mm.
it was beautiful. But then, unfortunately, you have another regime that feels, why must
Mm.
this man take the shine off me?
And
You
they
know?
just allowed it to go.
Yeah, just allow it to go, wither away. Meanwhile, innocent people like we have been discussing here, tax will go, unions will go, the so-called government agents will go and be extorting them. But you have something that's supposed to generate revenue for you. You ignore it, you neglect it. It doesn't matter.
Look at what Akwa Ibom state governor also did.
Yes,
This Akwa Ibom
Ibom Air is
Because,
good.
I have guests who always insist that no, who says that government has no business in doing business?
Mm.
You can do business at the end of the day, generate money for you,
Yeah.
for yourself.
But what
So,
he did was, I listened to him when he was interviewed, I think, by channels. He was clear that, yeah, they provided the enabling environment, they provided everything, but honestly speaking, it's in private hands.
okay,
Do you understand me?
yes.
So less government interference. In fact, the governor said if the time for takeoff is 12, he even say even if I'm the one involved, the time for takeoff is 12.
Yes, I've
And
flown the
yeah,
bomb air
yeah.
and really they stick out for time.
They
don't
cannot
waste time.
even
They stick
adjust
out
it.
twice.
They
like that.
can't even adjust time by 1 minute, even if it's the governor that was coming.
Yes.
Once it's 12, they leave. But this is because it's in private hands, and you have a governor that is willing to allow the private
Yes.
people to run the business. Okay? But incidentally also, and there's also a trajectory with Akwa Ibom. You notice that from the time of Atta to the time of Akpabio to this one, it's been more of continuity,
Yes.
You notice development
Yes,
there.
development there.
Yeah,
Yes, it's true.
they
You
have
are
been
right.
like
Who knows?
progressing
Maybe because of the
wise.
huge derivation funds that accrue to the state.
Where-
Some other states are not so lucky.
Is it really? Because what we are looking at here is, instead of all these multiple illegal, in quote, multiple taxation,
They
because
should think out of the box.
think
You
out
see
of the
why I
box,
keep
how you can
repeating the
generate-
word, how they can
yes.
generate
generate revenue, and it's not really difficult. And I saw it's even Abia. That one is an eyesore. You can't just you be asking yourself, is there any government in place in this place? From the roads to Aba, the commercial hub of the town, and everywhere. No development, no nothing. Anything you see were just individual efforts. Yet you have a government in place and they don't care. But it is in those areas you see all manner of touts, all manner of Soludo was the only one when he came, he said, no, I'm going to stop this.
But he also fell into the same trajectory as you call it, because he started taxing Okada people. They even went on protest.
Protest.
Yes, during that period, and of course, it was a minus on his part because many expected that the former CBN governor got with us with 5 years, and also a professor who do so much in that state. Well,
mm,
fortunately,
mm.
he also fell into what he met his saw his other
Yes.
colleague governors doing. Well, that is that for the leading story. Remember, we also have other stories. Like I want us to share at least a few or two on the another cover story on national economy. Let's have the national economy again back on our screen. I want us to look at OPEC's production target remains unchanged till end of 2023. We just have few minutes to go.
Mm.
Uh, Maybe what does it portend for Nigeria?
Yes, for especially
And don't forget that the minister, sorry, the JMD has told us that now Nigeria is about this. It's already meeting its quota.
quota.
Just few.
What it means now is that at least you can plan.
Okay.
You can plan, budget. Let's wait for the incoming regime to see what the budget will look like. But if it remains unchanged till the end of the year, I mean, it means it's stable.
Yes.
Okay, so you can do your projections
Okay.
without any fear of any form of distortions
Yeah.
in any way. So it is good. But
It's
the
a
problem
good one.
it's a good one. It's a good one. And all things being equal, this country shouldn't actually be crying much about how to get money to run projects. Because now you won't say that this is so unstable,
Yes.
or you don't know what to do.
Yes.
It's just about whatever government has done to shore up our progression. They should be able to stick to it, maintain it.
Now, the outgoing president did say that June or so that subsidy is going to be stopped.
Yes.
However, although he's leaving May 29th, so
Mm.
we don't know.
Mm.
So with this, and in respect to this OPEC target, how are you saying subsidy removal? And the president-elect did also tell us during his campaign that he was going to remove subsidy. Like
Yes.
he said, we like protest, we are not going to change that mind.
Mm.
So what is going to happen? Is Nigeria still going to smile, even with the OPEC target?
They are not going to smile. They are not going to smile. Because these things are subject to variables.
Yeah.
Once subsidy is removed, the truth is that the price of all these petroleum products will automatically skyrocket. They will move. Though, we're not looking at Dangote refinery because the coming on stream of Dangote refinery does not guarantee that the price of petrol will fall. There's no. And I think we need to really make that very, very clear here. So nothing changes. The only thing is that, like we said.
Yes, Nigerians are going to be paying more, but at the same time, at least be able to remove the cabal because many people don't believe in this subsidy.
Yeah, the cabal, they should not.
So,
yes, they should be able to take care of the cabals,
yes.
remove them, get them out of the way.
Because by stopping the subsidy now,
yes, yeah. And if it's a well-meaning government, you should also be able to trade this cabal, try them in the competent court of jurisdiction and jail them.
And the most annoying, or not really annoying, the most surprising part of it is that Nigeria is paying subsidy for a product that is not available.
That is why this country is fantastically corrupt. Corruption works on four legs in this country. It's a fantastically corrupt country. If you want to know where you can cut corners and get anywhere, this is the place to be. But the job there now for the incoming president-elect is for him to see how these things can be stopped. Stop corruption. Stop legalizing corruption. Because at the moment it's legalized. That is why some people feel they're untouchable. What can you do to me? You can't, the rubbish they do here, they can't try it elsewhere. Go to Saudi Arabia and try it and see if your head will still remain on your neck. Or go to China and try it and see what will happen if they will not hang you. It's only in this country, it's a fertile ground for them to thrive in all manner of iniquity. Do you understand me? It's a fertile ground for them. So to me, I feel that what they should be looking at, how do we stop corruption? These bad eggs that contributed 80% to the problems of this country. What do we do with them? Jerry Lawrence made an example of people like that in Ghana.
Yeah, I remember a bill was sponsored and the lawmakers turned it down. When they prescribed the death penalty.
Yeah, because most of them will be victims.
Yes, exactly.
You can't sign a law and become a victim. Yeah, because they're all involved. That is why they clamor for political office. Nothing more that they know it's a easier way to steal money, cover your tracks. During the election, even if the man at the top is breathing, you say, election is coming, will work against you. So it's always important that whoever is coming must make sure that whatever has made this country to be, to some extent, stable in terms of the oil production level, it should keep it.
Anyway, the president-elect has already assured us that he will bring this way to get competent people to fill these places, that not necessarily is not going to run a government, a unity government, or what is called. Well, with that, we've come to today's program, Morning Radio, where we discuss news cover stories on our sister publication, National Economy, a whole business paper. And with me, the studio has been the editor of the paper. My name is Winifred Kogo. Until we come your way again, same time, same station next week, I say remain blessed. See you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.